guys, hope you're all good. I thought I'd do a meeting characters at Disney World video today, as obviously that is kind of, as I mentioned in the video previously, that is kind of my favourite thing to do in Disney World, and I feel like it's a big part of Disney. Kind of giving you tips, advice, obviously if there are certain characters that you would like to meet and you're not sure whether they're going to be there, because obviously with Disney it always changes depending on what time of year it is. So I just thought I'd kind of give you a bit of tips really and advice before you were either planning your holiday, going on your holiday, or really. So let's get on with it. So the characters, especially Magic Kingdom, tend to stay the same. I mean, so for example, in the Main Street Theatre, you've generally got Mickey Mouse. He's always there. You can always catch him there. Tinkerbell is also in the Main Street Theatre. The queues, I've never really experienced a big queue for Mickey or Tinkerbell. So, you know, I mean, the longest I think I waited was half an hour, which isn't that bad really. I can't really see a problem with half an hour of your holiday, especially if you're there for 2 weeks. Also, for Mickey, that's quite good because he's obviously the main character that most people want to meet, especially if you kind of want to meet the traditional characters, so Mickey, Minnie, Donald, etc. So, to be honest, the minute you walk in the park, you can actually see there's, you know, the main characters. Like, you can see Minnie, Pluto. Sometimes Minnie isn't always there. When I last went, it was Minnie Mouse, but sometimes it can be Marie from the Aristocats. Sometimes it's Stitch. So it really depends what time of year you go. Generally, they're always kind of on an alternating kind of rota. I think Halloween it changes, but I think it's Stitch at Halloween. I can't be certain of that, so just check that before you go. The princesses, it's kind of a bit strange really, because I actually pointed out, and quite often Disney will do this, you'll be walking along and all of a sudden there will be a character there. Say it's kind of like the advert, when you see the adverts on TV, when you see a child kind of running in the park and then Mickey's there with his arms open. It's not like that really at all, but it's that idea that you could go and there could be a character there just stood there, and that's your kind of golden opportunity, especially if it's a character that not many people know. So Snow White, she was kind of like by this Wishing Welly area. There was a PhotoPass person with her, so she was meant to be there, because most of the time if there's a PhotoPass person there, then they do take pictures for you. However, all the characters will have a cast member with them, so obviously if you want a picture, if you want a whole group of you in the photograph, there will always be somebody there to take the photograph for you. It's just to keep the characters safe. It's also for you, it's also for them. It's also to kind of keep crowd control. So obviously most of the time there will be a queue to join, or some sort of like a sign to say, I don't know, Aladdin and Jasmine will be back in half an hour. And it's up to them to kind of just put you in a queue and make sure you're aware of the times that they're coming back. And it's just really so that you can get the most out of it. So you might want to go and do something else or something. So be aware of that when you're obviously going around the parks. There is also an opportunity to do character breakfasts. So obviously it does mean you have to pay slightly more. Like we're hoping to do one with Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, Eeyore at Crystal Palace restaurant, which is on the left hand side as you go up Main Street USA, on the left of well, it'd be the right of the castle if you were standing facing Main Street USA. But yeah, it's kind of by the new hub area, which isn't new now, it's a few years old now, but yeah, so that's kind of another opportunity. Again, a lot more people might be more reluctant to doing character breakfast because it does mean spending more money. The longest queue I've ever waited for a character is Elsa and Anna. I waited 70 minutes for them. You can book a fast pass for some characters, not all of them. Elsa and Anna were quite popular at that time because Frozen hadn't long come out. So, and that was the only spot that you could meet them, and this was at the Princess Fairy Tale Hall in Magic Kingdom. So it's kind of the back end of the castle. That was the longest I've ever queued. You can't get Elsa and Anna together. That was separately. Year at Epcot recently, there have been new, there's a new Frozen ride. Well, it's not really new now. It's kind of a year and a half old. It's called Frozen Ever After. And basically, there's like a part after that where you can meet Elsa and Anna. And I believe they're together. I'm not 100% sure on that. So when I next go, I will check that and see if that's still the case, because I would really like to meet Elsa and Anna together. It's nice to meet them separately, and you know, I appreciate that they can't always get them together, especially with crowds and things, and it's just a nice opportunity to actually see them on their own. But if you're particularly wanting Elsa and Anna together, then that's obviously, you would head to Epcot for that. Animal Kingdom tends to do kind of the more jungly themed animals. So we met Rafiki, Baloo, Louie from Jungle Book. I believe sometimes you can meet Timon. I'm 100% sure. Again, that depends on the timing of the year. You can meet Mickey and Minnie in the safari gear, so that's always good. You can meet Tarzan. I think you can meet Jane with him now. I'm not 100% sure on that as well. We met Pocahontas and Meeko. They were together. So yeah, just really look out for things like that. I think they've recently been bringing in the Up characters as well, which I'm not really sure how Up fits into Animal Kingdom, but yeah, so you can meet Doug, Russell and Carl from Up, so be aware of that those random characters can also pop up. In Hollywood Studios, if you're a big Star Wars fan, you can meet Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, Chewbacca. I believe you can meet Darth Maul. I think you can still meet Darth Maul anyway. So yeah, and the last time we were there, poor Chewbacca, he was outside, obviously in his costume. He was very, very he was kind of very, very hot, as you could imagine. So they've moved him now, I believe, to an indoor location, because as you can imagine, some of these characters stand out there for a very, very long time and it can get a little bit hot for them. So obviously that's something else to consider, that if you are planning to meet these characters, that obviously they do have to take regular breaks because of the Florida heat, especially if they're outside, they're not indoor characters. A lot of the princesses are indoors only because of their big ball gowns and their makeup, and obviously for obvious reasons it's not very nice to have photographs and you've got, I don't know, mascara like dripping down your face because you're having loads of pictures and you're sweating. So just be aware of that. And there's obviously good aircon for the princesses as well, so when you go into Fairy Tale Hall or Main Street Theatre or places like that, just be aware that they are inside for that. If you was to go and meet Belle, she is in two outfits. Well, you can meet her in her blue and white traditional kind of pinny sort of dress at Epcot in France. But at Magic Kingdom, if you go on the ride, the attraction Enchanted Tales with Belle, basically it's like an interactive kind of storytelling experience. So basically you choose a part that you'd like to play, and you get to meet if you're chosen for that, Belle presents you at the end with a bookmark, and that's a good opportunity to have a photograph with her in her big gold ball gown. Again, I met Belle once in the Princess Fairy Tale Hall. This was a very, very long time ago, but I managed to get her in her gold ball gown, but it's very, very rare. So if you are wanting a picture with Belle in her gold dress, make sure you go to the Enchanted Tales with Belle. And if you've got either a child or yourself, you want to get involved, you want a picture of her in her gold dress, make sure you get in and basically have the photograph with her. Because make sure you get in there and just kind of have the picture, because they will let you. There's no age range for it. Obviously the older you are, the more likely you are to get involved, and obviously it's kind of an interactive experience. That's the whole point. So just get in there, get involved, get your picture with her. Obviously, Belle can't be there for a long time because it is an attraction. There's people waiting for the queues. So obviously she can't be a long time. And generally people will have to wait sort of 20 minutes to half an hour. So bear in mind, in that time, you've got the actual attraction, you've got the experience, there's different areas to go in that, and then you've got to meet Belle at the end. So just be mindful of that. Obviously you can't, it's not a proper meet and greet, it's literally a photograph. So just take that into consideration, because obviously she'll need a little break before the next lot come in, and it's just kind of gives her a chance to kind of cool off a little bit before she comes back out to meet everyone else. Obviously there are different areas within Magic Kingdom where you can, well, not just Magic Kingdom, but you can meet Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy, Pluto. Sometimes they're in other costumes, sometimes they're not. So they might, for example, in Storybook Circus, I know that Donald and Daisy tend to have like little kind of clown or circusy outfits. So just kind of being mindful of that, that if you're wanting them in the traditional clothes, it doesn't often happen. You might just have to tolerate that sometimes they're going to be in other things. Obviously Donald Duck in Mexico, in Epcot, he is in a Mexican hat and he's got like a little poncho on. So again, something else to be in mind, that you might not always get the characters in their traditional clothes. That's all for today then, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching. Obviously this was a very brief overview, but obviously it just gives you an idea of what to sort of expect. So I'm not giving you the complete rundown of characters, but it's something to consider when you are thinking about characters and where you might see them, where you won't see them, or potentially something to sort of plan ahead. If you are wanting more videos like this, please let me know. Like and subscribe my channel, guys. I really appreciate it. And again, if you prefer the Disney over the fitness, let me know, or vice versa, or if you like a bit of both, we'll see. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.